Hello everybody and welcome to the audio commentary to my very first RetroKork episode about Verlies. What a character. That character, by the way, has a name. He's called the Intern since he is slightly the thingamabob, the gate cleaner, Spoonie's gate cleaner. And I think he does him relatively similar. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the intro. This is such a long intro. Next week, when the first episode of year 2 actually hits, the intro will be different, of course. At least I hope it will be properly different, and that it won't just suck, because I fear that it does. This intro, actually, this was the very first comment I got. The intro is too long. I got it on the first video, I think, of the two. If you're watching this on YouTube, of course. Yeah. I originally envisioned doing this for each and every episode, but when I noticed that with this game it was a pain in the ass, and yeah, the in-game video and audio are out of sync, I have a suggestion. I have an assumption why.
Encounters with computers. The computer I remember the fondest.
Dude, can you please get into the frame?
And one game we enjoyed in particular is
thank you.
It's called Verlies by Imperator.
Yeah, Imperator Soft. They only did 2 games. One of them was Verlies and the other one I already forgot.
So it's obvious that the producers themselves are German. I doubt you ever heard of the game, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is?
It seems to be a primarily German-centric game. Yeah, it's a dungeon crawler, and you're going to hear me curse because the pacing is horrible in this. It's not perfect yet, but yeah, I think I solved this way better when I did the RetroKork episode on Lazy Jones, because then it didn't hurt that much. The game itself being a lot better was also helping.
It's quite catchy. I think I've heard it somewhere else.
Yeah, Bond. Actually, I knew it was a Bond theme. I wasn't sure which one, but I knew it was Bond.
James Bond, right. Well, and then you get the backstory.
Yeah.
The instructions. The backstory is quite simple, and it is probably one of the most used.
Yeah.
You have been abducted.
I don't know why I'm showing you the manual.
Domination.
The
wizard sends you down a dungeon.
This is horrid, actually.
Or steal
because
from a dragon.
Of course, I've seen this multiple times, and I know, I see where I failed, basically, where the editing is crap.
This evil wizard is obviously evil.
Yeah.
If he will let you free go when he has.
It's horrible.
But down in the depth of the dungeon, there is a mega weapon.
Yeah.
That could rid the world of this.
This is... Oh,
Oh, and did I tell you that the wizard is not really patient?
yeah.
Might be important later. Well, you get all this, and then you get 9 torches, 5 healing salves,
Yeah.
healing potions.
And of course,
Then
you're
what
hearing
now?
there is no background music. Except for this one, but it is relatively quiet, and of course, in a second or two, we won't have background music anymore. Nowadays, I'm using
Yes. No automatic.
the
Oh,
SID
while we're
files.
at it, no save game, no continue, no multiple lives.
Yeah,
You will probably run around in circles and die. More than you want to.
yeah, that was a
The
shout out
controls
to
use relatively
Lord Cat.
complex, and I have to admit I have to cheat here. I have to look at my script.
As if
The
I
control
didn't look
scheme
at
is
my
as
script
follows.
all the other
Big
time.
forwards are
But
straight
actually,
backwards. Less
have
modern
found
turn
by trying
into
out
the appropriate direction.
by
W
trying out
browse or
auto
potato
cues
start.
or
A stands
prompters,
for attack.
uh,
First, you have to have your
and
sword
I've
drawn.
learned that I best use
E lights a torch. L
printed
extinguishes
scripts
it.
basically
D makes you pass a
because
fireball.
they allow me
H
to
stands
read
for
the
heal
script,
yourself, which
try to
restores
memorize it,
1/4 of your
work off
total
what I've
health.
memorized,
H stands for
and
healing
it allows me
potion,
to improvise
which
a bit.
restores your health completely.
Whereas when I'm working off a prompter,
S stands for shield
um,
spell. Z stands for weapon
it
respect.
drains out all
J
the
stands
life.
for stun spell. B stands for lightning magic. F stands for throwing a fireball. O,
Yeah,
all spells use scrolls you find down in the dungeon.
yeah, that's the main problem basically.
Means open the treasure chest. Yes,
Using
there
the
are treasure
scripts
chests.
on the screen and just reading them.
Amplifies the
Yeah,
memory.
I'm
Told
not
you
in
about.
my element
D
basically,
hands over the diamond.
and
U
I've
checks
recorded a few
the
episodes
hourglass.
already.
I'll talk
But
about
with
that in a minute.
the Last
K
Ninja,
looks at the crystal ball. Talk about that as well. P stands
with
for
the Last
pendulum.
Ninja, I'll start
I
using printed
stands
scripts
for
again,
looking into your inventory. And if
and
you draw a sword and press an
yeah.
H, your character commits suicide.
Sorry, for that bit of silence, but I'm having a slight
Maybe you've spotted
cough.
one. I have the feeling I missed 1 or 2 things. I'm not sure.
I didn't miss anything.
But first things first.
Yeah,
So let's create
this
a
is
new
actually
dungeon.
sped up.
And when it asks you alte Gewölbe, neue Gewölbe, and let it
It
run
means
around
Alto oder
towards
neue Gewölbe
the
means
position of
old or
rooms,
new dungeons.
all pathways, all the stuff down there.
And this is actually sped up footage. And here it's obvious. You need background music. Simply because without background music it's not that good. There is no coherence, basically. There's nothing that sticks it together. But then, of course, we'll soon run into one of my first encounters with audio balancing. Because I have no idea how to do. I had no idea how to do it. Even nowadays, it's more working by what works, what worked for me.
And then it asks you for a difficulty level from
Yeah,
I
no,
can
that's enough
probably
death.
do this, or very
Um,
easy, to WTF, or incredibly hard. I choose very easy because I'm honest here. I've never managed to finish this game. And now you can put your favorite record on because now all your combos
yeah,
are sound effects.
And if you're having a hard time hearing me, yeah.
Cutscene of some sort.
And why didn't I tell the backstory over that? I'm sorry, I just see my flaws. This is really, really bad. When you're going to have me talk,
And then you're given control, facing the wizard with the Dungeon of Death.
some of the louder parts of O Fortuna tends to drown out my voice work.
So you turn around and enter the
yeah.
Dungeon of Death.
And of course, nowadays I'm doing stuff the same way I did it back then in my first episode, which means I'm recording all my text straight into camera.
Still, it's time for a torch. So
yeah, that crew joke.
You light a torch. Now I have to talk about what every level is composed of. Every level consists of hallways, chambers.
Yeah, nowadays I record my voiceovers as well as the rest of the review straight into camera.
And you pre-installed lights. It is pretty safe.
Yeah.
For the wizard, and the fact that the time is ticking away. Chambers are your basic rooms.
Yeah, your basic rooms.
You enter the room.
I can hear myself simply because I'm wearing headphones. And if you ever watch the original video, you need to.
You re-enter the room. There's no enemy. Treasure chests. I'll talk about what they contain in a second, but I tell you this: some of them are booby trapped. You actually need the pendulum, which you can find in a treasure chest, to discover if it's a trap or not.
Yeah.
If it's trapped, it says something like "Das Pendel steht aus," 3 exclamation marks. But I'll talk about what is in treasure chests in a moment.
Yes,
Chambers.
one of the disadvantages where I recorded these videos is I was living next to a street with lots of traffic.
Or something like behind these doors, there's the ground hall.
Yeah.
These halls, there will be an enemy every time you enter.
Yeah. And this is a combat that's not really
Still, you
that awesome.
Pass through them to get to the next floor, or to get to.
Yeah, this battle is not as epic as the music tries to suggest.
Find new treasure chests. Well, first of all, there's gold pieces.
Yeah, gold pieces are still useless.
That valuable in the game, you can't use them. More torches.
I could talk about what was my first idea. My first joke, my first element of this review, because of course this game pulls a bullshit moment. As it says, you can't pass through doors when you're wielding your sword, which of course is bullshit. That was my very first idea. I wanted to disprove that.
You cannot disarm the traps. So, whenever your pendulum swings heavily, stay away from the treasure chest.
Yeah.
What are these objects worth? The pendulum, of course, detects traps.
Yeah.
The hourglass
pendulum.
The time. How much time you've left. Told you there's a time limit. Actually, it's not really a time limit, to be honest. It's more of a turn limit, because it's only semi-real time. And the crystal ball lets you see which enemy waits you behind a closed door.
Yeah.
Since their tactic is always the same, I don't think it's that useful.
Yeah, it's not really useful.
To let you look which direction you're facing.
Yeah, English fail.
It's probably not that useful. Your enemy always
Ah.
has attack.
Hello, speak up.
With your sword in hand, which is ridiculous, actually.
Yeah, that was the very first thing I thought up. And this was our front door, by the way.
You can't open
Fortunately, I didn't run into any neighbors, so yeah.
If you make it all the way down to the lowest floor.
Yeah, here is something I have to comment on. YouTube user Bibabutze has informed me that he remembers it differently. That he remembers that he had
or was toasted by him. When you beat him,
to
get the mega weapon and
no, that he found the mega weapon in a different location than the dragon.
And you can choose to hand over.
And of course, he tried out the weapon on the dragon, and yeah, that happened.
Don't fire it indoors. Never ever. It will kill the enemy and you. Only use it outdoors. My dad once tried because
the mega weapon drops the entire dungeon on your head.
It actually pissed him off.
Yeah, and this is not saying you're dead by someone else. No, for this my character committed suicide. So yeah, thank you for sticking around. I hope it was informative at least. From Karl Orff's Carmina Burana. Next week will be the first episode of year 2. And I'm RetroKork, signing out. Bye.